I'll start, and then don't admit people yet. We'll have
There we go. And admit all. Admit. Ron Burgundy is here. All right. Hey, we have Ron Burgundy here somewhere, so that's pretty cool. The Ron Burgundy.
Turn your volume up.
There we go. How is that?
Is
that good? Hi, Ashley. See you.
Hi.
Okay, so they have the people that they're under, and then the people that they're under have the doctor that got them under it.
Okay. All right. And as we have many people jumping on here, we just have to mute everyone. So there's no background noise. So we'll continually monitor that. And then obviously we'll give everyone a chance to ask questions and things like that at the end. I see Daniel. Hey, Daniel. So we'll get going here in just a minute as we're still allowing some people in.
And then hitting that.
Yeah. Should I go ahead and share screen?
No, because we're going to have them share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Don't share screen yet. Admit. Hello, everyone. Oh, my word. We have a question already. We haven't started yet. Only kidding. Yeah. We'll give everyone a chance to ask questions for sure.
Yeah, there'll be a chance at the end for everyone to ask questions. We'll have Yana and Steve kick this off just momentarily. We're just getting people on. So glad you jumped on here.
Yeah,
and we want to Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, and we want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we will keep this right at about 30 minutes. Keep in mind also we do webinars like for everyone every Tuesday and Thursday. So anything you might miss, you could always hop on that, or we could talk to you individually and things of that nature. So plenty of time.
Okay,
and
let's see. Do you see Anna and Steve?
I don't see them yet. Let's see here.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
Okay, I just asked you to unmute. Yeah, I think there you go.
Hello, everybody. Steve is in a different location. I'm with my son this morning.
Okay,
so Steve should be here in a minute. Let me make sure. Oh, he's here. If you see him, Israeli, he's live.
Yep.
He's in Florida. I'm in Tennessee.
Now I'll ask him to unmute. So, Steve, you there?
Yes.
All right.
Trying to make the camera to work, but I'm so good looking, I don't need a camera.
Amen to that.
I love it.
All right. Well, yeah. If you all want to kind of kick it off, and then maybe shove it over to Ashley, let her share a little bit, and then we'll go through the slide presentation and show everyone what we have here. Okay.
Okay, great. Well, Steve, can you be on the camera though?
For some reason, it's not working, and I don't. Oh, you know what?
It's on the bottom, and you have to or on your. I don't know which computer you are on. Maybe you need to just lift the.
It's the OBS. I had OBS when I was recording. Now it should work.
There you go.
Let's see here. pick a better camera. See, you gotta get the right camera. You just won't look good. There we go. When you get old and ugly, you got to get the right camera, one that fakes it all for you. Anyway, we are so glad though to see everybody here. I mean, we're getting to see faces that we never saw before, and but we know that you see us, but we don't ever get to see you guys. So that's really a pleasure as well. And my voice is a little bit crackly right now, guys. I apologize for that. It's just not doing super well, but that's all right. And then of course I've got my wife up in Tennessee, where what I call God's country, and she looks so lovely this morning.
Hello.
So,
Thank you.
Tell you what, man, I wished I was in Tennessee now. I'll be back in a week though. But anyway, I don't want to waste time here with all this. I will tell you though, I think just my 2 cents on this right now. I know that people can become distributors and can earn income from this, but I will tell you, I think the most amazing part of what we have discovered with whether it be not just X39, but there's so many other patches that we've been experimenting with, is that it is a revolutionary technology that is just really people are being helped in their testimonies. I'm not gonna make any claims per se, but I know that, as I've been told, that these patches help your body do its job that it was created to do in the first place. And that's what's so marvelous about it. In fact, my wife just ordered, they have one that's for pain, and she ordered that as well. And I can't wait to try it, because I've been dealing with chronic pain for about 15 years. It is a living misery to go like that, you know, to go so long. And I would love nothing more than not to have to take any kind of medication for pain whatsoever. So I don't know that's going to be the case yet. But as much success as we've seen thus far, I'm very excited about that. And you guys know from listening to me, I don't promote products. I never have, other than EMP Shield, because if I don't believe in it, I don't want anything to do with it. And I don't want to become a salesman. I'm just not a salesman. But when something works and I see that, you know, that's what really piques my interest. And I still got a ways to go yet on what I'm hoping and expecting this to do for me. But I didn't want to wait and have you guys wait until I go through 6 months of doing this treatment, when I'm seeing positive results with my wife with PTSD. And even, you know, they talk about your hair color. I got gray everywhere, right? I'm driving down the road yesterday, and I'll just quickly say this to you guys. I'm driving down the road, sun shining in the car, and I looked down at my wrist, and as I did, I saw this orange hair glowing in the sun. And I looked at my daughter and I said, Ariella, I said, what color is that, my hair on my arm? And she said, it's kind of like a reddish gold color. She said, that's weird, Daddy. I didn't know you had that color hair. I said, when I was young, I did. And it hasn't fully changed yet, but and I'd heard people say that they actually get their hair color back, right? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, you know, so once it's fully back, you guys already know I got gray hair. So if it fully goes back and you see me start changing, that'll be a new testimony to talk about at a later date. Anyway, I'll shut up for a little bit because I can talk too much, and I guess all you guys know that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I would like to just say a few things and welcome everybody here. And just like Steve said, we are not salespeople. And the reason that we got excited about it is exactly by chance, I found out that it worked on your mental health as well. And
Yana, you went to mute for some reason.
it just happened. Don't know why, but it's okay. You can hear me now, right? Okay. I had PTSD for 2 years now, and I was injecting enormous amounts of oxidants, and my body needs healing. And after Steve was putting on me this patch, it was X39 that we were getting from Brother Manuel. He was just sending it to us because he loves us, just out of love. He was just getting them for us. And Steve was using them, and he was always putting a patch here on me. And I started to feel better. I started to feel hope, light again. I started to feel that maybe I can get better. And as time went by, I did get better. And in fact, I'm canceling now my invasive treatment that I was on. So I no longer need a $350 infusion in months of December. I am purely using these. So what we were trying to do with Steve is help our listeners, because some of you email us all the time, and we know that the world is tremendously sick and in a need of some help. And we know that big pharma rules us, and they are really not helping. So all drugs have side effects, and these are not drugs. This is not a drug delivery system. What it does, it helps your own body and mechanisms within your own body to heal itself. And this is what I love about it. So at this point, let's learn more about this product. I'm going to give a word to Ashley, and or Todd and Shannon, you decide. I don't know how you're gonna, because these are the people that actually are helping us, and they have a lot of experience. So I would like for you to listen to them, their testimonies, what they have to say, and if you guys have any questions, please. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Ashley Cameron, and some of you saw me on the video with Stephen and Yana before, and I'm actually recognizing a lot of your names. Some of you have had the privilege of talking to throughout the week. And I told Yana, I said, these are salt of the earth people that I'm talking to. So your audience is amazing. Just the hearts behind the people that I've talked to, and the ways that you all want to not only help yourselves, but help the people around you and loved ones, has been really inspiring to me. I mean, I've had some amazing conversations with people all over the United States this week. And I know you have people in all different countries. And it's inspiring to me to hear the hearts of your audience. So thank you for that opportunity. I came into this, my background is in health education, and I learned about Lifewave. I learned about the patches actually through a friend who's also in the natural health community, and she was trying the patch on her knee and said that she was having really good success with an injury that she's had for years and years. And so I trust her. She's a trustworthy person. And so I decided I would look into it. And even then I was a bit skeptical. And so I wanted to just see people in my own life that it might have an impact on. And so I ordered a package, and I gave a few to family and friends, and just asked them to report back their honest feedback. I had nothing to lose. I wasn't trying to get, positive testimonies. I just wanted to know exactly what they felt and what happened. And I was amazed at what was reported back to me. So people had better sleep. I have a friend who's a runner, and she felt like she could run further and faster without getting tired. I had other people whose back pain, they had been struggling with some back issues. Their back was feeling better, and they were all like, what in the world is this thing? And so I had to explain to them, just like Yana said, that it does not have any drugs or any substance, nothing even like natural substance that's going into your skin, that it's basically reflecting your body's own infrared light back into your body, sending a signal to your body's own mechanisms that actually do the healing. And even with that, some of the things that I've learned about in natural health, you hear natural health, and that is a wide gamut of things. And some things are probably more accurate than others. Some things are more woo-woo than others. And so I wanted to make sure that this was like backed in science. So I started looking up a lot of information by the founder, David Schmidt, and I found what an incredibly intelligent man he is. He has, I know that Shannon and Todd will talk about his patents and things like that later, but Just a very, very smart man who has clinical studies to back these things. And so that drew me in even more. And then I was listening to a podcast where David Schmidt was speaking, and he talked about that Jesus Christ is his hero. And that drew me in even more. So it's just like little by little, I was, my ears were perked to this company, and then seeing the results from people in my own life. Many of you heard me talk about Manuel's testimony, and that he has tremors at night. And even sometimes during the day when he would settle down and be still, his body would go into tremors. And this is very severe for him, and it interrupted his sleep. He for years and years, and he's tried many, many things to help that, and spent lots of money on it. And some things would help for a little while, and then it would come back in full force. And since July, this has been the only thing he's tried for this extended period of time that has calmed his fidgets, and he's actually sleeping now. And so that's a huge testament to the product. And it makes me excited because, like Steve and Yana have said, yes, this is a business, but more than that, like, our hearts are to help people. And we've seen, even as we've put this out and heard people's stories and testimonies, people need help, and they need a product, they need a tool that's going to help them in their health journey. And so it makes me excited just to see this help other people. And I know that y'all are going to experience that too. So I'll turn it over to Todd and Shannon. They are amazing. They've been in this company longer than we have, and they are a wealth of knowledge and just a huge, huge support to us as we learn. So thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you so much. And
Appreciate that.
Just amazing, this patch and what it's done. And I'll kind of hold it up here. We are Todd and Shannon Varvel, and we are from Ohio. What I'll do here is hold up this patch. This is called a sleeve. And what we're talking about is the X39. And so just like it says there, have you been patched yet? And when we take a look at this phototherapy patch, we're going to talk a little bit and spend a little bit of time talking about this patch, what it's done for us, and what it's doing for other people. So understand that it is a phototherapy patch, and we'll talk about what that means. But Todd's going to share a little bit about who David Schmidt is, and what, as the founder of this, as the inventor of this patch, what he has done and what he's accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we'll give you a chance to ask questions at the end. And there's a link that you want to write down if you don't have it yet. It is called thisisitinfo.com. Thisisitinfo.com. So some of the the case studies, the patents, the science behind these products, the various videos that really go into deep explanation of everything, you'll find it on that. So again, thisisitinfo.com. We always say we're not the scientists here. We've been involved for 6 months. It's completely changed our lives. And our background is, school teachers. Shan taught for 18 years. I taught for 13 years. And then we got into health and wellness about 13 and a half years ago. And this is by far the most impactful product that we've ever experienced. And we've seen it firsthand with us and also our family and friends. So David Schmidt, actually the company's been around about 19 years. Okay. So it's not a brand new company. Was actually his initial patches. There's an energy enhancer patch and a pain patch called the Lifewave. Phenomenal patches. And those were developed 19 years ago, specifically for the Navy SEALs, because they needed something that was going to help help the Navy SEALs, with energy and stamina. But they didn't want it to be a substance, such as caffeine and things of that nature. So, and actually those products made their way to Stanford University, and actually the swim team more specifically. And they found all these swimmers started to get their PRs, and they started to perform better. And really the products, those patches were just kind of passed along from clinic to clinic, very kind of casually, because what we're finding is even after 19 years, nobody knows about this. So it's pretty remarkable. So after 10 years, actually, David Schmidt started in 2008, started to focus on stem cell research and the body's own healing and things of that nature. And $4.5 million that he put into this research. And just a few years ago, in 2019, came out with the X39, which is the hero product. It's the hero patch. There's a lot of other patches. The X39 is where we start everyone. Okay. But David Schmidt has over 180 patents. Okay. He is the scientist, the inventor, and that specializes in age reversal. Okay. So how the X39 works, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, so we talked about this being phototherapy, and Ashley mentioned this, and Yana mentioned this, and Steve mentioned this. You know, this does not put a substance into the body, which is kind of crazy to think. So it's not putting a substance, a supplement, a medication into your body. But what it does is through light, it activates the healing mechanism of our body so that our bodies will heal in the way that, you know, they were designed to heal, the way God intended our bodies to heal. And so, you know, when we take a look at how this works, it's non-transdermal. That means it's not putting anything in your body, no chemicals, no stimulants, but it works in a way similar to the way that the body activates. The sun will activate vitamin D in the body. So when we go outside, the sun will activate vitamin D in our body. This is a similar way. Now, this uses our body heat as the light source to activate that. And Todd will go to the next slide. So what this does is this activates a copper peptide in our body. It's called GHKCU. And we don't want to get too scientific here, but GHKCU, that copper peptide we have in our body. And as we age, that peptide goes down and down and down. And what that does is those universal cells, we know, like when we're young and we cut ourselves, you know, our body will send cells to heal, those healing cells of the body. And, you know, our body will trigger that healing mechanism of our body. Well, as we age, right, that goes down and down and down and becomes slower and slower. And what this does is this activates the universal cells in our body to do a whole host of clinically proven things. So the things that you see here, like Todd was talking about, these are things that have had clinical studies on them, and they're proven by what this patch is doing. So for me, to tell you a little bit about myself, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia about 28 years ago. So those of you that know a little bit about that, I battled autoimmune, I battled fatigue, I battled pains, aches and pains, muscle soreness, just a lot of inflammation in my body. And I've battled that for years. And, you know, over time, I used to do a pretty good job just through diet, exercise, nutrition, supplementation. When I hit 53, everything that I was doing just stopped working. And a friend of mine reached out to me about this phototherapy patch. And I thought, okay, I'm going to put this patch on and it's going to help my body. Like, I was skeptical about it, but, you know, at the end of the day, I was willing to give it a try. And so May 6th of this year, I got started on this patch. And what were some of the things that I experienced? They're the things that you're seeing right here. Mental clarity, my brain fog. Like, I can't believe the difference there. Just my aches and pains started going away. My sleep. You know, I had not slept well for about 4 years. And we all know the effects of not sleeping well. I mean, it takes a toll on the healing of you. That's your body's natural time of healing and repair. And I just was not getting that restorative sleep. And with this patch, just the difference in my sleep, my inflammation, my energy, I'm having all day energy. I feel like I've gotten my life back as a result of being on this patch, and even my skin appearance. So now at 54 years old, I cannot believe the difference that it's made. I feel like it's reversing gravity. You know, everything that was kind of going downhill is now starting to be relifted again. And you know, even the things like Yana talks about, your mental, you know, you can see down at the bottom, what this helps us do is truly achieve that optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, my mood. And we have so many people that talk about, gosh, they just feel better, just complete well-being. But, like it says down in the bottom, this is not designed, and we want to be very clear here, this is not designed to treat or cure or prevent a disease or medical condition. But even with me, with my fibromyalgia, I was feeling a lot of symptoms. Yana was feeling symptoms. Okay. Steve was feeling symptoms of, his back issues, and what this does is this helps with not treating, but helping with us how we feel the symptoms of those things.
Well, and I remember it really well too, because when that all happened, Shan came to me, and this is a few hours after wearing the very first patch. Now, we don't know how exactly it's going to help any individual, right? I mean, it's going to benefit you. It's going to work on things behind the scenes. You just don't know exactly. You can't predict exactly what it's going to do. But she came up to me a couple hours in, and she said, "You won't believe how clear I'm seeing things right now." And she's always, looking for glasses, and she's always, squinting and things like that. And she said, "I'm seeing things so vividly and so clear right now." And then she went out and did yard work, for like 3 hours. And so that was because she had been coming to me saying, "I don't know what's wrong with me." And she was just fatigued all the time. So, and then for me, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And really, it was about 10 days in of wearing the patch consistently. And my 10-year neck pain it just subsided so much I had forgotten about it. I couldn't believe my range of motion. So that was my miracle right away after only 10 days. So we hope that happens for everyone. But we continue to just get testimony after testimony every single day. It's absolutely amazing. So long-term results. And I know for me, I lost my father at 58 years old, and just a sudden heart attack. His father died at 57 of a heart attack. I just turned 54 a day after Thanksgiving. So for me to see what this is doing behind the scenes long-term, even if I didn't feel something that was like, oh my gosh, I feel, amazing, or a certain pain went away or whatever, just knowing what it's doing behind the scenes was enough for me. So what's happening is the first few days in, 4,000 genes begin to reset in your body. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes more balanced. Okay. A lot of people experience, like Yana was talking about, and, PTSD and anxiety and depression, things like that. So that starts to improve. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. You're going to see some pictures here in a little bit. Shannon has before and after that's unbelievable. And then within 6 months, your heart actually reverses in age. Okay. Your vascular health improves that much. So it's pretty amazing. Shannon will talk about how to wear the patch.
Yeah. The thing I love about this, it's super simple. So, we've got this patch, you can see, you peel the backing off. It's like a little sticker. Okay. And we wear the patch for 12 hours on, we take it off. So we wear it during the day. 12 hours on, 12 hours off at night. We allow our body during the night to repair, rejuvenate, and then we throw away the patch. Or if you have an elderly dog, you can put your used patch under the collar. They do amazing things for pets and even plants. So like putting this patch in a plant, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, these are amazing. So we put them on. You can wear them really anywhere on the body. For my dad, he's 80 years old. He was having hip pain that he struggled with for years. 3 days, he placed this right on his hip where the pain was. And in 3 days, that hip pain was gone. You can, and then the biggest thing is just drinking plenty of water. We like to say also drink an electrolyte, because potassium, magnesium, those things are really important to stay well hydrated. You're going to see those 2 places they recommend you put it, either behind your neck or just a couple finger space below your belly button. Those are the meridians of your body, but you can really wear it anywhere.
Tell about your mom too.
Well, yeah. And my mom as well. I think when we started using this and we started to feel such a difference, my mind just started thinking of people that could benefit from this. And I thought, you know what, the first people I want to share this with are my parents. And, you know, like I said, my dad's hip pain gone in 3 days. My mom's, you know, the pain that she had in her hands, you know, subsided. And, you know, it's just been incredible. You know, I call my phone my miracle inbox because every day I'm getting testimonies from people now from all over the world that are having life-changing results. And, you know, you can see there's me. You know, I can't believe the difference that 6 months has made for me in my inflammation. You know, it's just incredible. I truly feel like I got my life back. And you can see, you know, we've got people with all different types of skin issues. You know, you can see that before and after of the lady down at the bottom. You know, the before, this is 1 year on the X39. Her after looks like it should be her before. It's just absolutely incredible. And you see the hair growth, which Steve talked about that.
I want to interrupt really quickly. I wasn't planning on doing this, but this plant is one that I kind of let it die once a month and then I revive it with water, but it never stands up like this. Like it turns back green, but it stays like flat. And I started putting our old patches in there. And I kid you not, I told my husband last night, this plant do you see how perky it is? It's never done this. So this is like blowing my mind.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it kind of does the same to us. So our bodies are designed, you know, God designed our bodies to heal. And what I love about this patch, you know, and David Schmidt, when we talk about Lifewave as a company, you know, he credits biblical codes. He's amazing. But the credit goes back to our Lord and Savior in the development of this patch. He said he knew that our bodies were designed to heal. He just needed help in finding the code. And he found that through the Bible, through biblical codes, and credits that. And Todd will talk a little bit about the company because I know he shared it is a 19-year-old, now 20-year-old company. But what has happened to the company since the development of this patch?
Yeah. And you see, like I said, since the development of the X39, that's where the skyrocket has happened as far as the company growth, which is just amazing, just in a few years. So open in over 75 countries. You can literally share this with people you know overseas. I think I saw someone was actually on the
they said hey from the UK.
From the UK. So that's awesome. This is a patented product. This is not a Me Too product. You know, we come from the world of nutrition where there's a lot of competition and things like that. So, but the fact that this is patented, like no one else, you can't go up to Walmart or Walgreens or Costco or wherever. You can't go anywhere else to get these patches, which makes this a very unique product in the marketplace. So again, you know, who do you know wants to look better, feel better, perform better? That's pretty much everyone in my contact list on my phone. So the 4 ways to get started, to get involved, you can just become a retail customer. Some people do that, not many, because most people do value discounts. So we would, you know, encourage minimally to do the preferred customer, to try them out. And you know, it just makes sense. And then preferred, with preferred customer, that's for free. Okay, there's no sign up fee or anything like that. You can just get on the sleeves right away.
Yep, and let me jump in there.
Yeah.
So those of you that are you're wondering, okay, how do I get these? This sounds amazing. You know, how am I going to do that? So Steve and Yana have a website. Do you guys want to jump in, Steve, and give your website name? And then that way they know where to go. They can write that down.
Yes, it's lifewave.com/Ben Noon, BENNUN. And also what we'll do for you guys is we'll take after this is all over, I'm writing down any information that Todd and Shannon or even Ashley share, such as websites. So the same email where we sent you this about the Zoom meeting, I'll include that link in there. and the other, like this is it, info.com, and that email, just so you have some of that information back with you.
Okay, perfect.
Super.
So let's take a look at this. So preferred customer, just to let you know, it's the baby blue level. That's what I always tell people. It's free. You're going to save $50 a month. So the retail on the patch, you'll get 30 patches. It's a 1-month supply. Retail is $149. Like Todd said, I don't know about any of you, but I value a discount. So preferred customer is the baby blue level. That you'll save $50 on that initial order. And so you're going to get that month's supply for $99. Okay. What we tell people is give this a month for every decade of your life. So my expectation going in on this, I knew I had fibromyalgia for 28 years. I didn't imagine that I was going to put a patch on and have a miracle. Okay. Now, that being said, I knew this was going to be a commitment, and I was planning on giving it at least 5 months. Now, that being said, within the first few hours, I didn't know I had brain fog. That brain fog was clearing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So, many people have results before, but, that's just kind of the expectation. Preferred Customer Plus, you can see number 3 there. That one is a $20 account. You do get some samples, you get some swag. They're going to send you some free samples of some patches every month. You're going to get some different ones. And then you'll still get that value. And then you will have a referral code that you can refer people. And then number 4 is brand partner or distributor. So for that could be someone, even like Todd and I, when I got started on these, I was just already starting to think of people that I could share this with: my mom, my dad, my brother, my cousin. So we knew the value of having a website and being able to share. And now, the crazy thing is we have business in Japan. We have people in Japan that are sharing these with people. We have people in,
Netherlands.
The Netherlands. We have people in Mexico. We literally, the way this kind of takes on a life of its own, just because you're sharing an amazing things that's changing people's health around the world. So
yep.
Todd can kind of talk about the bundles.
Yep. So the bundles, again, just becoming a brand partner, and don't, we don't want anyone to look at that. There is zero pressure sales here. Okay. We simply do this to help people and make a difference. And in doing so, we're able to build a big team of people who are sharing this across the world, which is pretty amazing. So, but if you would like the option to say, hey, I want to get my own account, okay, my own website, so I can share this with others who I have in mind, then here's the ways to do it. You see, there's 6 ways to do it. We say good, better, best. We kind of eliminate the ways that we don't recommend. But good is the silver, and that's where you'll get 3 sleeves. Okay, 3 of the envelopes of 30-day supply.
That's your 90-day supply.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, that's a 90-day supply. If it's if you want to do this like with a spouse or with a friend, then we would recommend doing the next one or better. So because that's 3 sleeves just for you, okay, for $299. So better would be gold. You'll get 5 sleeves or 5 30-day supplies of the X39, and then you'll get 1 of the bonus patches. Okay, one sleeve of the bonus patches.
Like the pain patch.
I mentioned the pain patch, which is the Lifewave, which is phenomenal. It's kind of for the right now pain, acute pain. There's also the energy enhancer patch, which is amazing, especially for people who work out and are really active, or maybe you want to get more active. Okay.
Yeah, maybe you don't have energy.
Yeah,
although
exactly.
the X39 will give you a lot of energy.
Yeah.
That's why we start everybody off on that.
Yep. There's the Eon patch, specific for stress on the body, anxiety, things like that. A glutathione. There's several different ones. You can look at those when you go onto the website. And then we say better. That's the diamond package. I know that's what Steve and Yana did. I know it's what Ashley did. So basically, that's the one for $15.99. You'll get 16 sleeves. And again, this
plus
is
3 for free.
Plus 3 for free, $300 worth for free. That's for someone who just right away says, I get this, you know, like I would like to do this and maybe as a side business, create side income. And I have a whole slew of people I can see sharing this with. So again, completely up to you how you choose to get involved. And then we always say, develop a why. Most people have a why, to do something over and above what you currently do. We have people of all ages. We have people who are doing well in this, who are, all of our kids. We have 5 kids, and 4 out of the 5 are signed up, doing some things with it and enjoying the patches. And then we have people, way older, even in their 80s and 90s, who have signed up, and they say, well, shoot, why wouldn't I sign up so I could make some extra money? So it's really up to you. But we always say, find your purpose, find your why. For us, we just love helping people and making a difference in what we do.
Yeah. And I always leave Todd in charge of the technology, because when I start being in charge of it, then, things start falling apart. But, at the end of the day, like Todd said, really the way that you get involved is completely up to you. If you see yourself using the product and trying the product, our advice, become a preferred customer. If you see that, maybe there is someone in your life that you are thinking about sharing this with, the opportunity is certainly huge to, maybe you just want to earn enough to pay for your own patches, and share it as a hobby, or, there's significant income that you can be making on this. So we're going to turn it back over to Steve and Yana. And I believe they have someone that's going to jump on and share.
Oh, so I will be talking just for a brief moment here. Just a few things I want to share out of my heart. And one thing is, when you go on thisisit.info.com, and you go on the bottom of that page, you can click on a 55-page document that describes to depth the technology. Okay, so I read the 55 pages and I feel extremely comfortable with the technology. It's nothing to be afraid of. It is actually very encouraging. And just to let you know, every time we travel with Steve to give talks or in our ministry, I always had one full bag of that I extra had to take with me because of supplements. Because I was on this supplement, that supplement, all kinds of supplements. With my PTSD that I had, and I'm not saying I'm 100% cured, but if I say 80%, and me canceling ketamine treatment, that's very significant. And that's what got me excited. This is why I'm even here, because I'm not a salesperson and I would never get involved like this, never. So we purely focus on ministry with Steve. So this is just because I truly believe in this that much. So what I want to say, I was told by a naturopath to take L-theanine for PTSD, because it also gives you like a kind of anxiety. And, past 2 years, I have experienced that after tragedy. So L-theanine, I found that I had to take about 5 times a day. Three tablets, 5 times a day, constant popping, L-theanine. It would work for 2-3 hours, wear off. Oh, I need more L-theanine. So this is how, I am actually hoping, because now I'm totally off even L-theanine. I'm off everything. I'm only on these patches. So this is why I feel excited about that. So that's one thing. And also when it comes to business side of this, to me, this is just a bonus or how to get people help, because we are sending some free patches to some widows who cannot afford it, or some elderly people who just simply can't afford it, or they can't get into this financially at all. So I feel blessed that I can bless others that way, that we, with ministry, we just do that kind of thing with Steve. But I want to remind you that the Mr. Schmidt gave this to the hands of common people. Just think about this, what pharma does. They have a specially trained pharma agents, nicely dressed, with requirements of minimum bachelor degree in science, they equip them with very toxic drugs. And then they go to doctor offices and they give bonuses to doctors to push those drugs on the people. Okay. And you are their customers, and then you take these drugs with the hope that you're going to help yourself. I was there, you are there, we all, that's how we took care of us. When we are sick, we call a doctor, right? And then they give us drugs. Some of you are on 20 drugs a day. All right. And every single drug is toxic drug. And I'm not telling you to get off drugs. No, that's not that's not the point of this. But when you look at the business side of it, I feel blessed that Mr. Schmidt gave it to the hands of common people, and we can help ourselves and then see how this works for us. For me, it's really important that I find a tool that my own body can heal itself, because I know that God created us the way that we have a self-healing mechanisms within us, and body can repair itself, and any tool that can help that, this is what I'm after. So that's all I wanted to say. And Steve, if you're there, well, she's a doctor. Rosa, she's doctor of theology, but she's elderly lady, and she definitely is not involved in any business side of it, but she is on those patches for 3 months, and she wanted to tell us a little bit about it. Are you there, Steve?
I'm here, but you're going to have to send me her number. The number I have does not work.
Are you? Oh, wow.
And I did not get a text from her either.
She said she texted you.
It didn't go through on my end.
Mm.
While they're figuring that out, I just wanted to read a testimony that I got in from a lady. We encourage everyone to start with x39. So you're going to look at the website and you'll be overwhelmed by the different number of patches that there are to choose from. But if you are ordering for the first time, we want you to start with x39 because it's the most comprehensive patch that you'll find. And it also helps the body to begin to detox, where then after that, you can layer on some of these other patches. If you're choosing a package to start with as an enrollment kit, choose mostly x39 and then mix and match some of the other ones as you're interested, just to experiment with. But this is a lady who was on x39, but she ordered, her husband was going through chemo. Now, we don't recommend or cure or treat during chemo at all, but he was suffering from side effects from it. And she said that her husband developed a horrific cough as a side effect of the chemo, 1 to 2 hours of sleep a night, can't finish a sentence, extreme, awful cough. He had it for 5 months, despite months of breathing treatments, x-rays, and CT scans. The first night he wore the Eon, I gave it to him out of desperation around 1 a.m. in the morning. He slept the rest of the night through. Every night after that, he would sleep sound and quiet through the night. If we forgot to patch, he coughed the entire time. Eventually, his cough started getting better during the day too, until it completely went away. It helped reduce the inflammation and in turn really improved his quality of life. So these are the testimonies that we get back, and this is the heart behind it. This is why you're going to want to share with family and friends. So were they able to get them?
Do some people maybe have questions? Like
yeah,
we could answer.
And just real quick, Jason, I'm not sure if you're able to say anything where you're at. You might be at a soccer game. Oh, no, I just saw him. Jason, do you mind just sharing your testimonial real quick? Jason is one of our partners, and I've known him since 4th grade, and he's got an amazing x39 story.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah. Good to see everybody. And, appreciate that. Yeah. The x39 has been absolutely incredible for me. I've, I actually suffered from chronic hip pain. I'm 53 years old. It kind of ran in the family. Watched my brother really have some issues. My dad's been hobbling around for a decade, and I found myself hobbling around as well, and just really starting to see those symptoms. But I talked with Todd and Shannon and got on the x39 patch. It's been absolutely incredible because literally within 2 days, I mean, when you think about it, when the worst pain that you have in your body is gone within 2 days of using the x39 patch, that's the experience that I had. So I went from having a really difficult time with the inflammation from that to not having any issues at all. And it's now been nearly 6 months and I've not had any hip pain whatsoever. And that's been an absolute godsend. And if I take it even a step further, sometimes the things that are alleviated for you are quick, and sometimes they're a little deeper and maybe they just take a little bit longer. But I went in and had blood work done, and just for some things, and my blood sugar, my glucose was actually down 35%. So I went from like in the mid 9s at the time in my blood sugar to down in the very low 6s. And then again, went in and the doctor was like, what are you doing? Because it was only 30 days and everything else was constant, and then he said, what are you doing? And so they've wanted to keep significant tabs on me. I went in again and it was in the 5s. Right. And so it's just been, it's amazing what can happen for you when you're, you let the technology do its work. And anyway, so those have been significant impacts on the product. So turn it back to you guys. Appreciate the opportunity to share. Hope everyone takes advantage of what I consider probably one of the bigger miracles I've ever used. So appreciate you guys.
Awesome, Jason. Awesome. Ashley?
Okay, Jana's going to jump in.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to say one thing, Todd, that I was reading, and we are focusing on X39 patch because this is like a basic and the most important patch. And if you want to later add more patch to it, you can wear more than one. You can wear X39, X49, or any others. And I was looking up the Eon patch, the one, and it says in here that it's like taking 30 cups of royal jelly. And I know royal jelly very well. I have been using it in healing for my children since they were small. And 30 cups of royal jelly, I mean, that is an amazing thing that's what you wear on your body. So I ordered that one and I'm about to start using that one as well. So I feel excited. Just wanted to tell you that.
It is amazing. And I see some people in the chat asking, will this help for certain conditions? And, so the one thing that we do say is, everybody is different. Like Todd and I have been sharing this for about 6 months. The thing I love about this patch is that, it will help you with your body. And it goes to healing your body where your body needs it the most. So, like we say, is it going to help you with this condition or that condition? That we don't know, right? Everybody's time frame is different here. But it will help to do all of those things. Resetting 4,000 genes. It goes to work on those universal cells of your body, those healing cells of your body. And then your body will use this patch in the way that your body needs to use this patch. So, people will ask, well, will it help with this? Will it help with that? We have testimonies of all different types of conditions. Now, remember, it's not treating or curing a specific disease, but what it does do is help with the symptoms. And I think at the end of the day, like even for me, I was really struggling and I had to say at the end of the day, am I willing to give this a try? I don't like where I am in life and I'm looking for a natural solution. I'm looking for something different. I've tried all the things and I thought, you know what do I have to lose? Yeah. So that's kind of how I looked at that. So we'll throw it back to you, Jana. I know there are people on here with questions.
Yeah, Elizabeth is at her hand. Maybe we could have her ask.
Yeah, Elizabeth, ask question.
Yeah, Jana, earlier today, you had sent me some of those images on the remarkable change on how it reduced inflammation. Would you be able to share that so that people could see that?
It's Todd and Shannon. They're having this particular Zoom. They're the host, but yes, we will have more Zooms about that. We are planning on having it every week, actually. So maybe on one of those Zooms, we can talk about it because there have been 80 case studies and clinical studies. So they have done blood works, they have done infrared photography when it comes to inflammation and showed before and after what happens in the body just after a few minutes of application, how the inflammation is reducing, and it's very significant. So we will do that on other Zooms, okay? Because we're planning on having them more often.
And by the way,
I
yeah.
have one other question, if I might ask it.
Yeah.
Have you had any testimonies of people with autoimmune getting better?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So, when you're thinking about that, a lot of times with that autoimmune, just like my fibromyalgia, okay, that's a version of autoimmune. Our immune systems are weakened by something, that's acting in the body. And, once again, we're not saying that it's treating, it's curing, but there are testimonies from all different types of chronic health issues where people are getting help with it. So yes, it is. And I think we've got this picture here that you were referring to, and I think Todd can bring it up here in just a second. So if anybody else has a question, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. And then Yana, if you want to call on people, and we'll go ahead and find that.
Courtney's next.
Yeah, Courtney.
I can't hear you yet there, Courtney. Can you unmute?
You have to unmute yourself. Courtney, she needs to unmute herself.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she went.
Did she? She might have dropped off. Yep, I don't.
Yeah,
see her. She might have accidentally.
Yeah, she probably.
It was an accident because she wanted to speak.
Okay,
I think.
Here she comes. She's coming back.
Okay,
we're letting her in here. So yeah,
we always say live TV.
Yep. And again, if someone would like to see this again, we're going to be doing this Tuesday night, this presentation again.
Well,
so
and Yana and Steve will schedule another one too.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay. Is Courtney back in? Yep, she is. Okay, Courtney, can you hear us? Are you back?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Now.
I totally just went out of it. I didn't know how to do it. Okay, my son, he has EOE. It's a eosinophilic esophagitis. So he has a lot of allergens that he's like allergic to, and and I didn't know how old do you have to be to be on it. Like he just turned 11 yesterday.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So what we've heard is that a whole patch is fine. And what we mean by that, I'll hold that up there, meaning taking off the backing of both sides. Yeah. A whole patch for 7 and up, 7 and under, half a patch. You do not cut it because that messes up the integrity of the nanocrystal in the patch, but just a half a patch, just like this. And because it's activating on the heat of the body, 7 and under, you can put a Band-Aid over the top of it as well, because the heat doesn't come from light. That's another question we get, like, hey, do I have to wear this where the sun hits it? No, your body heat activates it. So yes, so he would be able to do that.
Yep.
To do a whole patch.
A whole patch. Yep. Yes, he could.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Annalise, how about you?
Oh, I had to unmute.
No worries.
I don't know how to mute it again.
Oh,
I've had like 5 surgeries in 14 months, and I've been on pain medicine and muscle relaxers, and gabapentin. I mean, I'm literally addicted to them. I'm underneath pain management. I've been there for 20 years, and I ordered yesterday before the meeting. And I feel so bad every morning when I get up. I feel like I go through withdrawals horribly. And I don't understand that, because I have to take 4 pain pills a day. I can't get off of them. It's same with the methocarbamol and the gabapentin, but they make me feel so horrible. Now, after they removed my gallbladder, I had to have 2 surgeries. And then I had 2 shoulder surgeries in the past 4 months, because I keep on tearing my rotor cuff like crazy. And I had a hip replacement. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyways, I'm just, I know it's not a cure, but do you think it would help me get off of all this medication? Because, you know, the only way to get off of it, I'd have to go to rehab, and I can't go to rehab because I got to have another hip surgery. And I can't because I've lost so much weight. I'm down to 80 pounds. I've lost 25 in the past 15 months. And now my stomach's all messed up. You know, it doesn't matter what I eat. And I just can't seem to gain weight. They want to put me on marijuana, and I don't want to be on that stuff because I'm allergic to it. I really am. So do you think this was...
I'll say it can only help. You know, we can't sit here and say it's going to take you off of all your medication, but it will only help. And the longer you wear it, I think the more you'll experience some benefits from it. So, you know, like Shannon said, we recommend a month for every decade of your life.
Yeah.
But some of us have more things going on in our bodies than others. And so, you know, it can take some time. You might experience some things sooner than others. But I think it can definitely only help and hopefully get you just feeling better when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I ordered yesterday but I did the Preferred Plus to where you get something free each month. And I'm not sure I'd done it right because it's scheduled to ship out tomorrow. So it'll automatically come every 30 days, right? Mm-hmm. I scheduled it to come in tomorrow, and they gave me a free 39 patch. But you guys were talking about that ice patch for pain. I'm just thinking maybe because I have so much pain, maybe that would be an alternative to what the 39, you know, taking them both. I don't know. But
do them both. So the X39 is going to work systemically. For example, I have my dad on X39 to work systemically. He needs to load his... Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, yeah. I can hear you.
He's got several health issues that I'm hoping it will help in the long term, but in the immediate, he's got pain in his hand. So he's wearing X39 every day. And when he has pain in his hand or he's using his hands a lot, he puts Icewave on his hand and it helps in the immediate. So you could use Icewave on the shoulder that's hurting the most at the time, and that should bring some immediate relief. But you need to also wear X39 to work systemically for the long term.
So the patches come for the Icewave. Does it come for 30 in a package that you buy?
It'll actually come with 15 days worth.
Okay, so it's 15.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but here's the thing about those. For X39, you're going to want to wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And right. Shannon, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you can wear Icewave until the pain comes back. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So what we say is, just like Ashley said, you definitely want to, if you can only afford one patch, whatever your budget is, X39. That's the healing. That's the systemic help of your body. But if you are in that right now pain, that's where the Icewave can come in. We've had tremendous testimony with people that are battling pain, using that Icewave patch. And you can use that in conjunction with the X39. So hopefully that helps. I know we've got some other people that have some questions. So it looks like US, Larry, and Martha, Germany. You all want to jump in with a question?
Sure. I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd get to me so fast. If you want to do something else first, I have a bite of food in my mouth. We're multitasking and eating lunch.
No worries. No worries. I think
I'm always eating.
Okay, well, we're anxious to try the patch. Here's what I could write a book. I could talk for an hour, but I know you all have other things to do. So I'll make this very short and concise. My husband, Larry Germany, who's here in the room with me on speaker, was born with cerebral palsy. They said he wouldn't live to age 20, and he surprised them. And they said he would never learn to read. They passed him from grade to grade until in fifth grade, the teacher recognized that he was smart, and she taught him to read. He graduated from college. He's run his own business with the water, called the Water Doctor, with reverse osmosis and water softeners. He's still very, very part-time, even though he's 80 years old. But here's why we're going to try the patch. We'll probably sign up right today. He has chronic shoulder pain and tightness, lower back pain, scoliosis, knee pain. They help that a little bit by giving it silicone injections, but and some toe pain. He dropped a water softener on his foot. It's not funny. I don't know why it's funny to me. It was just all he needed besides everything else. And so he lives in chronic pain, and so he's with a pain management doctor, but he'd like to get off the hydrocodone. He'd like to get off the trizanidine for muscle tightness. It helps him with sleep, but sounds like the X39 will probably cover all these bases. I know it's not a healer. I know you can't make medical claims. I know only Yahuwah and Yahushua are the healers. And but this thing sounds like it can't hurt using the own body. And I'm thinking that, let's see, the only thing that's helped him, we were amazed. He got some 30 milligram CBD, which we can only afford one a day. And he says it's the only thing that's ever taken away all his pain for about 3 hours. But if we bought enough of those to take him every 3 hours, we'd be paying way, 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 way more than your product. So we've got to do something different from that. And so we're sold, and we're looking forward to being on a Zoom meeting later on and telling you his results. And I'm just wondering if maybe he shouldn't use this pain. If we can afford it, maybe the pain patch, ice, whatever thing you said, in addition, since pain is his 99% major issue. Well, sleep's an issue too. Well, that's all I have to say. So I just like to know if you recommend the X39 and if possible, the pain patch. And yes. I'll be quiet now.
Well, that's an incredible story. And Larry, you are just amazing and defying the odds. And what a story of being an overcomer. You know, what I would recommend, if possible, you know, do the ice wave in addition to the X39. So what we say to people, if you are in that right now pain, do the X39 and add on with your first order, get that ice wave patch, because that ice wave is going to, you actually can put that right on the pain point. There are other places such as the bottoms of your feet. So yes. A lot of these points are acupuncture points. So, you know what, like even for me, sometimes I will put the ice wave patch. It's a 2-patch system. One on my right foot, one on the bottom of my right foot, on the bottom of my left foot. And that helps me with whole body pain. So, you know, there are placements and we can go over all this with you. And Ashley is here to help. Yana and Steve are here to help. And that's what we love about that. And we are getting some questions. I see Chris has his hand raised, but before we do that, I wanted to go to Connie, who had a question in the chat. She wanted to go over a little more on the business side. And I know that Yana had mentioned that you want to jump in, Yana, and talk a little bit about our plans for that.
Yeah. Now, listen, before I go into that, I just quickly want to say Steve and I are a ministry, so I always look at it from the point of view of the Lord. And I will tell you that Bible verse, when the psalmist, King David, said, thank you, Lord, for I am so wonderfully made. That we are made so wonderfully. God has put inside of us those stem cells or baby cells or undifferentiated cells that can basically take up a function, go and slowly start repairing your organs. And just for that to be activated is amazing. So faith comes in with this as well. And I wanted to remind people that now that I canceled my treatments and I don't need even L-theanine, I'm only using patches. Every single day, I say in the morning and evening, I always visualize how my stem cells are going all over my body and they are repairing. my organs, my brain, my heart, my arteries, insides of my arteries. And I'm just visualizing this, and I'm always thanking the Lord with faith. Thank you, Lord, for I'm so wonderfully made, and my self-healing mechanisms are now induced. So that's the way I use it, with the faith. But also when it comes to business side of this, those of you who decide that you don't want to just buy the patches, but you want to help others, please, we're going to have write us email. It's benoonx39@gmail. Okay. And please put in subject, I want to be a distributor, and we are going to make a very specific meeting just for distributors where you can learn the business side of it. I do want to tell you, Steve and I, we are so busy with ministry. We did not learn this well yet. We truly rely on Shannon, Todd, and Ashley. They're the ones who are helping us with this, but we are learning. And what we will do is have a very specific just distributor meeting just for you for training. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, it looks like Chris has his hand up. So Chris, would you like to unmute? There you go.
Sure, thanks. Just wondering, since the company's founder is an expert in longevity, I assume he knows the problems with like telomerase activation. Has he developed a patch to sort of pair with the X39 that might activate telomerase, so you're sort of not burn? You know, when you take the stem cell stuff, you're sort of burning the candle down more rapidly to regenerate things, but you're also running into that limit of cell divisions. Do you know if he sort of addressed that issue with another patch?
I'm not sure if that, Ashley's going to jump in on that.
Well, I believe I have read something about the patch lengthening telomeres, and that would be something that we'd have to look into the clinical studies on. But that is something that it increases longevity when our telomeres are longer. But we need to look into that just to get you a definitive answer on it. I will say that in terms of like speaking to the long-term effects, I think the people who have the most incredible results are people who have been on it the longest. And so I don't think that it's like diminishing returns the longer that you're on it. You may experience some benefits initially. A lot of people do, but sometimes I was actually just reading in a forum last night, and they said, will people please reply who did not have immediate results, but saw results in the long term? And there were lots and lots of comments of people, I didn't experience anything until 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And then they'd have their testimonies and they were incredible. So I think it's a matter of the longer you're on it, the better. I don't think that there have been any downsides to being on it for longer. But again, we can look into some clinical studies on that also.
Yeah, I'd be interested in because I'm looking for anything these days with telomerase activation, because that's the main thing for most of these therapies. And it would be the X39, or is it one of the other patches, you know, that with the telomerase activity?
I believe that would be X39. It's the most comprehensive patch. I actually have also heard about David Schmidt releasing new patches in the future that are age reversal. So just be on the lookout. I think that this company it's really not in it's hit a prime point, but I think that it's only getting better and better with inventions and kind of where it's headed in the future. So it's a pretty exciting company to be a part of.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Ashley, there's another question. Somebody is asking, using L-theanine or antipsychotic meds, if that interferes with the effectiveness. Can you kind of talk about the contraindications of being on other meds? And I think you would be a good one to answer this.
Yeah, sure. I think that's the beauty of the product too, is that there aren't contraindications with other prescriptions or supplements. I know a lot of people take L-theanine for sleep. You may find that you get what you need from your food and you don't have to take as many supplements when you do take the X39. But there aren't contraindications because there is no chemical or substance going into the skin. It's simply working with your own body. And so hopefully that answers your question. There's not going to be a contraindication with those things that you recommended. Again, though, we're not claiming to be medical experts. And if you sign up to be a distributor of this product, you do not need to be a medical expert. And so we always recommend that if there's question that you can talk to your doctor about that where appropriate. So always run things by your doctor, because we are not the doctor. But as far as from the company side, there are not contraindications, but for your own body, run things by your doctor.
That's great. I think we've got all the questions. I will just jump in because I feel like there are some people that want some clarification, just to kind of wrap up. So we went over the ways to get involved. We did talk about a sleeve. So a sleeve is just basically this envelope that has a 30-day supply. So you're going to get 30 of the patches in here. That's what we call a sleeve. It's just basically an envelope. So, looking at ways to get involved, if you're on here today and you're thinking, okay, I want to try the patches. I have some health things that I just don't care for where my health is. Or even if you're just wanting to better your health, right? You're looking for something to help with age reversing. Consider just becoming that preferred customer, putting this on subscription. You can stop it. You can cancel it. You are in charge of that subscription, but it does save you $50. So consider becoming a preferred customer. Now, if you are on here and you're thinking, okay, I see the value of sharing this with other people. I wouldn't mind having a website where I can order my patches at the top discount. I'm getting the discount. And then I'm also possibly, if I choose to, sharing it with other people. Then that's where you would consider doing one of the bundles. Now, if you're wanting to do one of the bundles, you're wanting to know a little bit more about that side of it, on their website, which you will get an email, you can go there, you can click on join, and that's where Todd was sharing about the silver, kind of your foot in the door. You'll get your 90-day supply at the top discount. Gold, you're going to get 5 of these x39, plus you get 1 free. You can choose the Icewave, that pain patch. You can choose any of those add-on patches to add on for free. And then if you're really seeing this as a business opportunity, you may want to consider that diamond level. What that does is it does give you $300 worth of patches for free for you to use, for you to share. Maybe you're already thinking, I see someone saying, okay, oh my gosh, my mom, my sister, my cousin, you may want to consider that. At the end of the day, that's up to you. And like Yana said, yes, the pain patch comes in a pair. It is a 2-patch system where the brown patch goes on your pain point and the white patch will instruct you on how to do that. Don't worry about it. It is simple. And that's what I love about this. If you can put a Band-Aid on, you can put this patch on and you can start that process of reverse aging. Somebody said, can I upgrade my subscription? Yes. If you start as a silver, you can upgrade to gold. You can upgrade to platinum. You can upgrade to that diamond level at any time. The company is very generous about that. So I see Manuel is on there and he has his hand up. I know that you have a relationship with Steve and Yana, and jump in here.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, and I can't see my own video, so I don't know what I look like on the screen there. But I wanted to say that I have a video that I saw where David Schmidt is interviewed by a health and wellness coach, and he goes in depth on how the patches work, and he talks about the science, the technology, his background, and at near the end of the video, he announces that next year they're going to release a patch that will reverse aging. Now that's a bold claim. I'm not making it. David is saying this in the video, but if we can share this video with the audience here, I think it would be worthwhile. And it's a powerful message. It really, for me and my wife, when we saw the video, it just solidified the technology, and I thought it was just powerful.
Okay, well, I don't know how we would share that now? Are you suggesting sharing that now, or down at maybe one of the other Zooms that we have?
We'll have it maybe at the next one.
Yeah,
or
we share it later.
Get ready in the next
if
Zoom.
someone reaches out.
I'm also seeing a lot of questions come in about which patch for what. And, I think once we introduce more and more patches, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and there's just a lot to choose from. But what we're saying right now, and just a little bit of background too, if you weren't here, but a lot of other patches were invented years ago. And they're great, and they do really good things for the body. But the most recent one has been the X39, and it is what has made this company explode. And it's what a lot of people are reporting incredible testimonials on. And so if you get nothing else from this today, I say start with X39. Just get started. And I've seen questions, can we wear 2 at a time? You could. We don't recommend that, though. And also that it works in your body to detox and to clean up your body. And so we want you to start slowly. And so order your X39, order it for you and for your spouse or for your family member, but start there. And you're going to want to you're going to hydrate. So put water and electrolytes in your body. That will decrease any side effects that you might experience from a slight detox. So number 1, hydrate. Number 2, put X39 on your body. And then I would say number 3, if you want to look into some of the other patches, Icewave for immediate pain, or just learn about the others, I say take that slowly, but start with X39 because you're going to want to wear that for a few months, even by itself anyway, before you add anything else, unless it's maybe Icewave for pain. So don't get overwhelmed with all of the options today. Start hydrating your body and get your order in for X39. And if you're interested in becoming a partner, we want to hear from you so that we can have another webinar to go over that.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I see, Matthew, you have your hand up. Do you want to jump in?
Matthew. Oh, there he is. Can't hear you, Matthew.
Nope, you're not unmuted. So you've got to unmute.
Hit S to unmute.
Okay.
There you go.
There you
are. My question is the X39. I wasn't really clear on that when I read it. Can you help me understand that a little bit better?
The X49?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the X49 is specific for strength and recovery and also promotes fat loss as well. So a lot of people use that in conjunction with the X39. It really enhances your workouts like unbelievably, actually.
Well, and even grip strength, it was clinically proven to increase grip strength by 61%. So think about that as we get older, getting that grip, and so it's a sister peptide to the X39. So we say, start with the X39. And then if you want to add that one in for strength, recovery, and fat loss, you can add in the X49.
No, they can do that as a bundle, though.
You can't do it.
Okay, well, I felt like the Holy Spirit was trying to get me to, it was talking to me about the X49. And
nice.
I thought maybe I should start taking it. I haven't even got my first order in yet. I've actually got my order, but I haven't received it yet.
Gotcha.
Now the Icewave, now that is for direct pain in particular areas. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Or whole body. It can be for whole body pain as well.
Tell them what people do in the feet.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I did. I shared. There are different patch placements.
Yeah, I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it can do a whole body thing if you put it on your feet, then is what you're telling me.
Correct. There are other places we can place it as well. But, if you're having a specific pain point, and I'll jump in here, and I know we're going long. So, we want to be respectful of your time, but let me share a little bit about my bulging disc. So I got started with this for my fibromyalgia, but about 2 weeks in, we were pulling into the church parking lot. I'm wearing the X39 every single day. We pull into the church parking lot, And I've had a bulging disc for 24 years. It was a gift from my daughter with childbirth. So pulling into the church parking lot, and I told Todd, my bad spot, meaning my area of my lower back, my bulging disc, was itching profusely. I could not stop itching it. I've never itched in that spot of my body. And I said, oh my gosh, like what this is this blood getting to areas? Is it activating my nerves? You know, what is going on? It's healing. It's healing. And so I was experiencing this, and I have this basically like a half of a tangerine lump on my back for 24 years. And Todd knows about it because he massaged it for years and years and years and years. And over time, right now, that lump is gone. The bump in my back is gone. But all that to say, I was using Icewave on that particular point because that had caused me a lot of pain. Now I don't need to use the Icewave on that point because it's no longer a pain point. So what you may find is you may not need to use the Icewave over time, or you may use it here and there. It's an amazing patch to have on hand because, you know, over time, as we age, we may come up with pain points, right? That we're going to need to add that to. But so yeah, the Icewave patch is amazing. But all that, just like Ashley had said, and I think we're going to kind of wrap it up here. X39 is your start. That's where you're going to start. There are other options to get some of those discount bundles. If you click join on the website, you're going to see where we were talking about that silver, gold, and diamond bundle. And certainly, you know, other patches, things like that. You've got their website. You know, we all are working together to help. And this is what I'm telling you, you know, going back to the opportunity that's here, because I noticed somebody had asked about the opportunity. There's so many people out there that are struggling right now with their health. They're looking for a natural solution, and there's nothing else like this out there available. This has not only changed the entire course of my life. We are hearing testimonies from all over the world, like Yana's, like Steve's, like Ashley's, you know, like Manuel's, like Jason's, you know, those people that are utilizing this patch and getting tremendous results. So it just leans itself to an incredible opportunity. But, you know,
well, and it's a team approach, as you can see, you know, so anyone that you know, joins in that way, I mean, we're there to help. We would do this same type of thing for you. So it's pretty neat. And I like the team approach. So
it's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. I have one more question. Can you use like the X39, the Icewave, and the X39 all in unison together?
Yes, you can. Yep. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The biggest thing is just making sure that you are incredibly hydrated. So, you know, if you're anything like me, I do a great job of carrying around my water with me wherever I go. I don't necessarily drink it. So I've got this great app on my phone that says, drink water, drink water. I'm constantly being reminded. So we say body weight divided by 2 in ounces of water. And then if you can, drink an electrolyte drink a day to get that potassium, magnesium. There's many out there, you know, good ones. Celtic salt is also a really great way to get in your electrolytes. But, you know, there's a lot of Celtic salt. Yes. You can even get it on Amazon. So, you know, there's a lot of recommendations and things that we can go into. Yeah, we could make this a 6-hour.
I was just going to say, like Matthew, on workout days, I do X39, X49, and the 2 energy patches. That's what I do on workout days. So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. No limit there.
Okay, Yana, we're going to throw this back to you.
There's still some other questions though.
Okay. What I am recommending, because of time, okay, is that we meet like this once a week. So what I would like to give you, like, if we can give them our website and our email. Ashley monitors our emails there. Please, only this business related emails or questions about X39 or Lifewave emails. Anything for ministry, go to Israeli News Live at protonmail.com or Stephen Benun at gmail.com. Okay, Benun x39 at gmail is just for this. So I will just remind you if you by mistake send there some sort of biblical questions. But we would like to meet with like this, especially we want to hear from you, your testimonials after you use the patches for several weeks. We would like to hear that. And those of you who do want to do this as distributors, we'll have separate meetings for training, only for the distributors then. And also, so again, email Benun x39 at gmail, and the website where you order or where you become partners is lifewave.com/Benun. Am I correct, Steve? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
And we might want to, Amy is somebody we didn't get to a question on, so if we could check with her real quick before we do end the broadcast.
Okay, let's do that quickly, yes. Amy?
Hey there, everybody.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. I wanted to come on to let you see firsthand my situation so that when I do order the patches and put my faith on Jesus, that you can see firsthand what he can do. If you have faith of a mustard seed, it's amazing. So I had followed Steve and Yana for years on Israeli News Live, but long story short, can you still hear me? I am 50 now, and I'm a nurse by training. Got my RN BSN from Messiah College here in Pennsylvania in 95. And I guess with the passing of my parents, they both died in my arms, being the caregiver, being a nurse at a federal prison. Life was hard on me, but God's been faithful. So it started with a heart failure, and they put me on terminal disability and said I'd never make it to 50, but God had other plans. And then my right hip died with avascular necrosis. And then on October 18th, I started with horrible head pain, and they did an MRI and saw a lot of changes in the brain, which leads to demyelinating disease. So they don't know if it's MS or Parkinson's, but I know God is faithful and he's our healer. And I asked him, begged him last Sunday, Lord, show me what to do naturally, because I got off all the prescription meds and just relying on him and need some extra help. I've seen a chiropractor now in the last month 11 times, so that's helping with some of the horrific neurological pain. But I know he's amazing, and we know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, Philippians 4. So I just wanted to come on and show you what I look like now so that I can give God all the glory when he starts to heal me through just natural means that will activate the healing process in my body, because I need a little help right now at 50. So just wanted to say hi, everybody, and that I'm going to continue to lift you all up in prayer. We all need help. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to do this today and to, share with us. And I'll do the same as well and share with those that I know need help. I have a lot on my prayer list right now that need some help. So I want to thank you all, and God bless you.
Bless you.
Bless
Amy,
you, Sister Amy. God bless you. Steve, maybe we could later announce some meeting where we can pray for the sick.
Yeah, hang on one second here. Amy, sister, listen, I just loaded a few minutes ago onto our Israeli News Live channel a video I did on Patreon just a couple of days ago. And I really, really think it's something that you should listen to if you haven't already heard it. On faith, on Hebrews 11, something that God opened my heart to recently that I'd never saw before. And then if you can email me, and you can do it in the X39 email there, just email me your number. I'd like to call and pray for you personally, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that'd be an answer to prayer. I isolated up here. I'm kind of in my Elijah Funk cave and here on the farm in Pennsylvania, but I'm dressed like this because it's pretty cold in here right now. The coal furnace is grexing away. So it's not woe me. It's he's amazing, and he will direct our paths if we just trust. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay. If we can listen, we'll Todd and Shannon, if you guys or Ashley, if y'all want to go ahead and we can close the meeting for now. I know there's some other hands up, but it may be because they were up earlier is all. It may just they didn't go back down as of yet, because I know we've actually addressed each one that has come up already. So and then two, for those of you that are listening, I know that Todd is and Shannon have recorded this particular broadcast. So we'll take, and what I'll probably do is or actually Yana created a YouTube channel separately for this type of videos. So we'll load it on that channel there and then share with you. We'll email you the YouTube channel, because I don't know the name of it, and the link so that you can go back and review it later, because we don't want to burden Israeli News Live with these types of videos here. So we did create a channel specifically for for this type of work that we're doing. So we'll get that uploaded up there once we could get a chance to get that done.
That sounds great. That sounds great. We just want to thank you all for being on here. Amy, we're certainly lifting you up in prayer. And, there's just so many people struggling out there. And, I think we often fight our own battles behind our four walls. And I know for me, that was me for several years, covering up everything with a smile. And, this patch for us has been an answer to prayer, and to be able to pass that on to people. It's truly all the glory goes to God for this, and the ability to share it with others and impact people now around the world. So thank you so much to Steve and to Yana for inviting us here. We're blessed and grateful to be here. Thank you to Jason for jumping on and sharing your testimony. I know you're a part of this group and helping people, and Ashley as well. So we'll just turn it over to you guys and just let you close it out. But we are here to help in any way that we can.
Steve, can you please do some quick closing so that way we just can end for today?
Yes.
Love you all, by the way.
Later.
I love you all. I'll be talking to you soon.
Yes. Thank you very much for listening. That's my typical way of closing out, right? Thank you guys for listening. I'm Stephen Benu with Israeli News Live. So the only difference is I get to see your faces instead of just me looking at this little black dot on the wall here. So, but I have to say, though, in closing here, I have to say I've been mesmerized by what is it? Let me find it. There's somebody on here. I keep seeing their Stacy, you guys' camera. I don't know how that thing works, but it's so cool. You feel like you're watching some kind of what do they call those things when they show everything that's going on in their lives and everything? Because as they move around in the room, the camera just follows them. And I'm like, who the heck is moving the camera around? But I guess
sorry, guys. I thought we're in the middle of 10 different things, but we're very, very excited.
That's okay, brother. Well, I tell you what, it's just fun to watch how that camera works. So I'm like, I need a camera like that, especially if I go to moving around a lot.
It's just an iPad, but I guess you're watching me drink wine. Sorry.
Well, you don't
wine
get to see.
Jesus loved wine. Remember
That's
that.
right. It's okay, but you're a little square, so it's all right. But it's still kind of cute, because if you go one direction and then your wife pops up, it goes the other direction and looks at her. And I thought that is the coolest camera I've ever seen.
Well, it's just an iPad. By the way, Marguerite is an RN from Pennsylvania too, who is on many, many pain pills. She's had 3 hip operations and the most difficult back operation that Norfolk General here in Virginia has ever done. 18 hours, 3 weeks on a respirator. It's 2 poles in her back. So
wow.
She's not a believer, but It'll come. I mean, she's a believer in Jesus, but in this product, because I've been involved in
Right.
things.
No, and believe me, I wasn't either. I have to be very honest. When I first saw it, all I could think of, okay, I'm going to stick a Band-Aid on myself now and get better. Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm embarrassed, but that's okay. I've been embarrassed before.
So don't feel embarrassed. I thought it was the coolest thing I ever saw, so I had to ask.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Todd, Shannon, for recording this and producing this amazing PowerPoint as well. Ashley, who's just been really incredible in making sure we got this all out to everybody, and her amazing knowledge on the product and stuff as well. We appreciate everybody. And we are looking forward to the testimonies that you guys are going to have in the future there. And I'm like what my wife said, you want a couple wearing this with faith, because, it's like anything. If you don't believe in something, it makes it much harder for that product to work. Even when we heard about the Icewave patch, first thing I thought about, well, I'm just going to cover myself head to toe with them then. But, so the thing is we're really believing for great things with this. And because now I've seen some results from it, it has increased my faith in the product. But definitely, I did upload this new video, as I mentioned to Amy, just a few minutes ago there on YouTube there. I think that's a very good message to go with this product here. And I think if we apply both together or even independently, I think there can be really some great things that'll come out of it. So thank you guys for listening.